The video showed Miami-Dade police stopped Hill for speed driving and the situation escalated from there. According to ESPN, police pointed players' careless driving and seatbelt violation before he was released at the scene. Hill's teammate, Calais Campbell, was also detained after he pulled over in an attempt to de-escalate the situation. The video showed Miami-Dade police stopped Hill for speed driving and the situation escalated from there. According to ESPN, police pointed players' careless driving and seatbelt violation before he was released at the scene. Hill's teammate, Calais Campbell, was also detained after he pulled over in an attempt to de-escalate the situation. Hill was ready to give his license when the officer tried to explain to him the reason behind the knock to gain the player's attention. The former responded asking the officer to just give him the ticket so could leave and rolled the window back up. Police officers objected to the window, and as the player rolled them down slightly, they asked him to come out of the car. Hill was heard saying he would come out of the car when a second officer pulled the car door, yanked him out and brought him to the ground with the help of the third official. Hill had his agent, Drew Rosenhaus, on call at the time and said, "Hey Drew, I'm getting arrested." The football player was then handcuffed and surrounded by several officials. An officer said, "When we tell you to do something you do it, you understand? Not when you want, but when we tell you." "You're a little fucking confused." The officers eventually made him stand up on his feet, however, moments later asked by an officer to sit on the curb. When he did not move quickly enough to do so, another cop came and gave him an aggressive pushdown. Hill tried to inform the cops as he said, "I just had surgery on my knee," to which an officer screamed, "Did you have surgery on your ears when we told you to put your window down?" In a statement released by Miami-Dade Police Director Stephanie V. Daniels, he assured that 105 minutes and 33 seconds of the body cam footage will be provided to the public to maintain transparency on the matter. The statement read, "The department is committed to conducting a thorough, objective investigation into this matter, and we will continue to update the public on the outcome of that process." Tyreek Hill, born March 1, 1994, is an American professional football wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins of the National Football League, NFL. Hill was drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs in the 5th round of the 2016 NFL Draft. He played college football at Garden City, Oklahoma State, and West Alabama. A former track and field star, Hill played primarily as a return specialist as a rookie, but has transitioned to strictly playing wide receiver. Following his rookie year, he received the nickname Cheetah, in reference to his speed. He has been selected to the Pro Bowl in each of his 8 seasons in the league. Won Super Bowl 54 with the Chiefs, and was named to the NFL 2010s All-Decade Team as a punt returner. His mother is Anesha Sanchez, and his father is Derek Shaw. A native of Douglas, Georgia, Hill attended Coffee High School, where he won both the 100 meters and 200 meters at the 2012 Georgia 5A state meet. On December 12, 2014, Hill was arrested in Stillwater, Oklahoma on complaints of assault of his 20-year-old pregnant girlfriend, Crystal Espinal. The police report states that the two got into an argument and he threw her around like a rag doll, punched her in the face, sat on her and repeatedly punched her in the stomach, and choked her. Oklahoma State dismissed him from the football team after the charges. Hill eventually pleaded guilty to domestic assault and battery by strangulation and was sentenced to 3 years of probation, an anger management course, a year-long batterers program, and was required to undergo a domestic abuse evaluation, a sentence that Espinal was consulted about and said she was comfortable with. Espinal eventually gave birth to a boy. Child abuse investigation. In March 2019, Hill was investigated for alleged battery after an incident in which his 3-year-old son sustained a broken arm. The following month, his son was placed into care of Child Services temporarily as a result of an emergency hearing conducted by the Kansas Department of Children and Families, 164. On April 24, Johnson County District Attorney Steve Howe released a statement, saying that his office believed a crime had been committed but the evidence did not allow them to determine the perpetrator, and that the Kansas Department of Children and Families continued to investigate. The following day, an audio recording of Hill and Espinal discussing the injury to their son and the subsequent investigation was released. In the recording that surfaced, Hill and his fiancée discuss their son's broken arm. She says that their son is scared of him, to which Hill responds, "You should be afraid of me too, bitch." As a result, the criminal investigation into Hill was reopened. On June 7, prosecutors announced the case against Hill was inactive. On June 10, reports surfaced that medical investigations showed his son's arm was broken by accident and in a way that indicated it was broken bracing for a fall. On July 9, 2019, the full unedited audio from the recording was released. In the full audio, Hill accuses Espinal of lying about the domestic violence accusations in 2014 and about Hill breaking their son's arm. The NFL stated they have always had the full audio of the recording. On July 19, 2019, the NFL released a statement saying that Hill will not be suspended and that they found no evidence that Hill violated the personal conduct policy, but the incident will be re-examined if new evidence emerges. Assault investigation. On June 18, 2023, the Miami-Dade Police Department announced they were investigating Hill for allegedly assaulting a male employee of the Haulover Marine Center following the two having a verbal disagreement. Later that same month, representatives for both Hill and the Haulover Marine Center employee announced a settlement had been reached. In August 2023, the NFL announced that they would not be punishing Hill for the assault incident. 2023 paternity lawsuits. In December 2023, it was announced that two separate paternity lawsuits for child support were filed against Hill by Brittany Lackner and Kimberly Kaylee Baker. Both gave birth to Hill's alleged children in 2023. In February 2024, Hill reached a confidential settlement with Lackner and confirmed he was the father of her son. In July 2024, a Broward County judge ruled that Hill was in fact the father of Baker's daughter Trey Love Hill. It has been reported that Hill could possibly be the father of at least 10 children with 4 different women. 2024 lawsuit. On February 23, 2024, model and influencer Sophie Hall filed a civil lawsuit against Hill, alleging that he had broken her leg during a football lesson at his house the previous June when he invited her to run offensive line drills against him. The suit said she held her own on a couple of plays, frustrating him, before one hard play caused the fracture. Hill's lawyer disputed her account and said her injury resulted from her falling over a dog that interrupted one of the plays. 2024 traffic stop. On September 8, 2024, hours before the Miami Dolphins were set to begin their season opener against the Jacksonville Jaguars, Hill was pulled over by officers outside of the Dolphins stadium while he was on his way to the game. Video, which was filmed by fans, was uploaded to social media and instantly made national news. The video showed Hill being detained in handcuffs and forced to the ground by 3 officers who were on top of him holding him down. Hill claimed in a statement following the game that he was accused of speeding and reckless driving and had no idea why the situation escalated like it did. "I wasn't disrespectful because my mom didn't raise me that way. Didn't cuss. Didn't do none of that. So like I said, I'm still trying to figure it out, man." Stedman Stahl, president of the South Florida Police Benevolent Association, said Hill wasn't being cooperative and that he was redirected to the ground after refusing to sit when he was briefly detained. Julius B. Collins, Hill's attorney, said that the traffic stop escalated when Hill gave officers his license and rolled his window back up. One of the officers then knocked on Mr. Hill's driver's side window and advised Mr. Hill to keep his window rolled down, otherwise he was going to get him out of the car, and that officers followed policy in handcuffing Hill. Mr. Hill was not immediately cooperative with the officers on the scene who, pursuant to policy and for their immediate safety, placed Mr. Hill in handcuffs. Mr. Hill, still uncooperative, refused to sit on the ground and was therefore redirected to the ground. Once the situation was sorted out within a few minutes, Mr. Hill was issued 2 traffic citations and was free to leave. Stahl said. Hill's teammate, Calais Campbell, who was also on his way to the game, stopped and got involved in an attempt to de-escalate the situation. Campbell got out of his car with his hands up above his head and approached the scene, informing officers that he was a friend of Hill's. He remained at the scene to support Hill after he said officers asked him to leave. Police later placed him in handcuffs for disobeying a direct order by being too close. They were trying to yank him down to the ground. I saw them kick him and pull him down. I feel like one officer was pushing on his head, Campbell said to ESPN. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis spoke on the incident, saying, "I was pleased to see he did well in the game and it was good for the team, what happened on the field. I have confidence in agencies throughout this state that they want to uphold the highest standards of professionalism, and if for some reason that wasn't followed here, I know they will make that clear. But I'll let that investigation take place." One of the officers involved was placed on administrative leave following the incident and pending an internal investigation. Miami-Dade Police Director Stephanie Daniels told the Miami Herald that the decision to place the officer on leave came after a review of the body camera footage from the roadside incident. Despite the incident, Hill played in that afternoon's game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, where he finished with 7 catches for 130 yards and 1 touchdown in a 20-17 win. Thank you for listening. God bless you. See you in the next video.